Okay, sorry about that. I think my time ran out on the first video, but this one's going to be a lot shorter because I'm coming to the end of it anyway. But just to see where I left off, that's DFC, as you can see, and as you saw, the front door and the building work for the extension to what is apparently going to become a clinic. Now, if you take the distance from here and walk along here, you've got a very short walk to the first front door. Sorry, front door, to the very first main road. Hello. And the main road is literally just up here. Now this main road takes you from basically the Premier Inn, or the back end of the Premier Inn Hotel at Thurston, right up to where there was a possible sighting at a gym, and the gym is just at the top of the road. If you turn left here and go right up to the top of the road, that's where you will find the gym. But again, you had the potential for so many witnesses to that sighting, and yet all we have is one person. As you can see in the background, that's your main road. You'll see cars going past in a minute. However, if you look down here, that's going to an underpass if you turn right, which leads to the back end of Milton Keynes Bowl, which will come into view any moment now. As you can see, it's a very, very short walk. And literally right over in the back there, exactly where I'm pointing, is the back end of Milton Keynes Bowl, which has hosted many events over the years. Lots of big bands have played here, likes of Queen and Bon Jovi, Simple Minds, Coldplay, they've all been here. And literally at the back there, we see those trees standing nice and tall and high and proud, is the back end of the Premier Inn Hotel. So the distance is very small, considering her office block was right behind that building. And up there as well is the underpass. Not the first white sign, the second white sign is about where the underpass is, which we walked through to get here. Now, with all due respect, to get from her office building back into Thurston Lake is literally a 5-minute walk, if that. So in the early days, when, shall we say, a certain person had an alibi, well, he also had a lunch break. But that's a different story. We're never going to prove anything like that. But what it does suggest, this whole sorry saga, is that if that was Leah Croucher at Thurston Lake that morning, again, I'll probably repeat myself, if those sightings are true, then why did she spend 2 hours and 41 minutes hanging around the lake? It's not making any sense whatsoever. However, if that is truly a mystery woman, for whatever reason was at the lake that morning, you know, frankly, who knows, who cares why they were there? And you are that mystery woman, then at least go to Thames Valley Police and say you are, and say why you were there, and prove why you were there, and prove that you are the mystery woman that was on the phone that morning. Because as long as this keeps hanging over everyone's heads, we have to assume, because of the descriptions by the witnesses that morning, the descriptions were quite close to Leah Croucher. And if it was her, we need answers of why she was hanging around. Because when she walked past the CCTV at Buscock Lane, I think I described her once as being quite nonchalant, very at peace with herself, very calm. And yet, somehow, if that was her around Thurston Lake, her behaviour changed very quickly. And frankly, I want to know why. Called it my obsessive need to know. And I do need to know. And furthermore, with all due respect, guys, whoever's watching this, even if it was people out on Thurston Lake that morning, people who were around that morning, Locksbeard Drive that morning, the Teletubby Hill that morning, I don't care where you were that morning, if you were around, it doesn't matter what you saw or what you think you didn't see, strangely you might actually hold information you don't realise you have. And you know, this has gone from a missing persons inquiry now to a full-blown murder inquiry, and with all due respect, I think Leah's deserving a bit better here. You know, just contact the police, tell them whatever it is you thought you saw, what you think you saw, what you thought you noticed. And maybe, just maybe, after nearly 4 years, justice might actually prevail for Leah Croucher. Because like I said back at the lake, there's a lot of theories going on that she was abducted outside the house. Well, with all due respect, I've just walked past that house with you. You know, is somebody going to try and tell me that an area like that doesn't have a nosy parker down the street? Because every street does. And yet, Leah Croucher was a black belt in the martial art. And I know from, shall we say, experience, that the one thing a lot of tutors tell their students is possibly, number one, run. And yet number two, if you do get grabbed, you shout, you yell, you scream, you whinge, you bitch, you scrape, you kick. And with all due respect, guys, Leah Croucher wasn't very tall. And yet Maxwell appears to be quite tall. And if I can put it into a blunt position here, I think her hand was perfectly placed for the crown jewels, don't you? I can't see Leah Croucher going submissively. I do think she would have yelled, screamed and whinged and bitched. And no one would have heard. No one would have seen anything down Locksbeard Drive that morning. And what's backing me up on that is someone has got to seriously explain that if she was abducted from that house, how her phone got turned off 9 minutes further down the road. Because right now, unless again the sheer laws of physics have been bent beyond belief, it's impossible. And until that's explained, it's going to remain impossible in my view. So there's a lot of work to do. And a lot of investigating to do. And I think the police have a hard job right now. I'm going to try to explain this. But I think in all fairness, including myself, I think we need to give the police a little bit of airway here. A little bit of breathing space. Let's see what they say first. Let's see what they come up with. And let's see what they finally conclude, if you like, in their final report on this case. Well, like I said to some people before I did this, I'm way out of my comfort zone doing this, but hopefully it's given you some sort of view, street view, if you like, about the morning. I'm sure I've forgotten one or two bits. I'm not actually going by script, I'm going off of the top of my head. And if you have any questions, well, you know where to find me. On that note, guys, have a good day and try and enjoy yourself. Bye bye.